Namaste. Now, I went down a really deep rabbit hole on the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and this whole thing that's going on. I don't know if you've heard the term the Great Reset, but whatever the fuck that is, I see it play out. I see their plan working out because, you know, COVID has proven the fact that people are willing to give up their personal freedom for the greater good, whatever the fuck the greater good is. Whoever gets to decide what the greater good is, right? That's also something we don't know. Who gets to decide? Now, let me read you a quote by Bill Gates, just so you get where I'm gonna go with this video. Let's go. And I quote: The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. End quote, Bill Gates. Now, wait, Bill Gates is such a philanthropist. He wouldn't say something like that. You know what's fucking hilarious? This isn't my opinion. This isn't just something I found on the internet. You can find this quote yourself not only in text format but in video format, where you see those words coming out of the man's mouth while he's talking to a large group of people. Now, why would he say something like that? That clearly doesn't make sense. Well, there's a, my theory is that, I mean, obviously the world is run by Satanists and psychopaths, and with Satanists, they're not allowed to lie because they believe in karmic retribution. The negative karma is going to return to you if you lie, right? So what they do is they tell the entire world what their plan is, what their intentions are, and how they're going to accomplish it. And if you're stupid enough to not believe them, then you deserve the consequences that you will suffer, right? People choose not to believe exactly the things that are in front of their eyes. Like, they can't make it more obvious. They can't. Yet people are just blind to it. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, that quote kind of proves the intention. They at some point figured, let's reduce the human population. And they may believe that decreasing the human population is for the greater good. Because if everyone dies out, then, there's no human suffering. Because when you're alive, suffering is on every step. Life is just full of disappointments and pain. So if no one's alive, then there's no pain, right? Then you solve the solution. Now, there is a guy. Let me find him. Like a couple of years ago, I read a book named Sapiens and Homo Deus by a guy named Yuval Noah Harari. I never knew who that guy was. Back when I was reading the book, it said that he's an Israeli professor in the university. I'm pretty sure he's in Oxford or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like an Oxford professor. And now I found out that Yuval Noah Harari is the chief advisor to Klaus Schwab. If you don't know who Klaus Schwab is basically the main guy in the World Economic Forum. If you don't know what the World Economic Forum is, then there's a rabbit hole that you can fall into, um, if that's what you're into, like I am. So, yeah. let me read you a quote by Yuval Noah Harari. Now, what does he say? We just don't need the vast majority of the population. Um, Due to technological advances in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and bioengineering. Um, as simple as that, right? Mm, as simple as that. We're not needed. The majority of the human population is not needed, is what they decided. They might act accordingly. Who knows? You know, maybe an additional 10,000 deaths a month in the UK due to an unknown cause. That's normal, right? That's super normal. That's always happened, right? Scientists could never tell you why people are dying. They can dig up a 2,000-year-old mummy from Egypt, from some, I don't even know what, and they're like, oh yeah, he died of, I don't know, genital warts, if that's what they died of. But yet, with all the modern technology that we have now, mm, you know, the number one cause being, uh, undiscovered. That's normal. That's always been happening. And professional athletes have always been dropping dead, right? That's super normal. That's just the way things have been, you know. Children just get heart attacks, right? That's always happened. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. That's always happened. It's nothing new, right? Anyways, now I went deep into who Yuval Noah Harari is. In an interview, he kind of explains this in a way. Okay, let me try explain it. So you're aware of the fact that they're monitoring every single one of your movements, purchases. They know who you fuck. They know what you eat. They know where you travel. They know how much money you make, how much money you spend. They know every single thing there is to know about you. But what they don't know is what you think and feel. And that really gets under their skin. That really pisses them off. Because if you want to conquer the whole world, knowing what every person thinks and feels would be an advantage if those are the intentions you have, right? Um, and in an interview, he says, you know, they want to create basically a chip that's going to reject false information. Now, why? Maybe it's his hatred towards religion, because he hates religion to the maximum extent. Um, and if depopulation, this is my own theory that I don't think anyone has ever heard about. I don't think you've ever heard about what I'm about to say. Now, if depopulation is their intention, right? And they create a microchip that goes into your brain, so you aren't able to believe in things that can't be proven by science anymore. The ability to think without data and science is going to be eliminated, right? And if somehow humans end up in a position where we all have a chip in us, and that chip rejects false information. Now, who gets to decide what information is true or false? That we don't know. We don't know who gets to draw that line. Somebody definitely will. That you also don't have to worry about. Someone's gonna figure it out for you, buddy. Um, what else? Yeah. What if this chip, since it's gonna reject everything that can be proven by science, people are gonna have to live in a way where the only knowledge you're able to feel, the only information your brain will be able to process is the hardcore truth, right? And if their plan is depopulation, that is the final step in their plan, because people run from the truth their entire life. Nothing scares the average Homo sapien like the truth, right? Mm, and maybe that's why I have somewhat less life satisfaction, is because I would choose the ugliest truth over the most beautiful lie. I don't know, that's just the way I am. Um, but yeah, people aren't, a lot of people, since humans are still in a very early and primitive stage in our evolution and development, people aren't gonna be able to deal with the truth. The truth is gonna hurt too much. People aren't gonna be able to process the truth and live an existence where that is all they have. People are gonna want to escape into a world of fantasy and fiction and, believe in gods, have religion, that kind of thing, as humans have always desired. And if that ability gets taken away, then we basically become walking robots, because somebody is going to decide exactly what the truth is, and humans aren't going to be able to process anything besides that, right? And people are just going to, kind of, take their own lives in masses, if that's what their plan is. According to my research, that's what their plan is. The things I see going on in the world, I see the whole Great Reset thing plan out. Um, yeah, for sure. People are gonna give away their freedom, their individual freedom as a person, for the greater good. Who will get to decide what the greater good is? We don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where we're headed. It's not where we're headed, it's the existence we are currently living in, if you're smart enough to notice. Mm, that's kind of it. I really I'm really fascinated in how that's gonna play out, and who's gonna, how are they gonna choose that elite which they want to leave? If depopulation is the plan and they want to just have, like, the elite, which is like, I don't know, maybe 1 billion people, they also need like a middle class, which may be like 500 million, because who really needs the middle class? And then the slaves, the peasants, which is gonna be like another maybe 1.5 billion, and that's gonna be it. And it's gonna be slaves that are lucky enough to be alive. They're gonna be thanking their masters every day for the fact that they were given the gift of life, even if that's a life worth of slavery. They're gonna be thankful to the elite. What will the elite be up to? I don't even know. I think they'll just be chilling, for real, for real. I think they'll just be smoking that top shelf za. There's probably a strain of weed that's so good they want to murder the like 90% of the population just so they don't have to share it with the others, and then they're just gonna sit there, drink children's blood, have mass orgies, satanic rituals, and smoke that exotic top shelf Zaza Shmadonka reefer. I think the average person isn't able to even understand a fraction of what I'm saying. It's crazy. Um, anyway, do your own research. Do your own research. If you want me to give you some key points as a summary, key points that you can research by yourself: World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, The Great Reset, Yuval Noah Harari. That's it. I am fascinated in how that's gonna play out and whether there will be more people over time that kind of start noticing the things I'm noticing, um, or whether everyone's just gonna close their eyes and hope for the best because the people at the top of the pyramid, they have good intentions. They wish the best for you. Trust me, they do. Trust me, they do.